What if the first warning signs of dementia aren't forgetfulness at all? What if your brain has been quietly changing for years, long before missed names or lost conversations ever show up? Today, we're breaking down scientifically recognized early signals that neurologists watch for long before dementia is diagnosed. And one of the later signs we'll cover is taken extremely seriously when it appears. Stay with me, because recognizing these changes early can truly make a difference. One of the earliest clues often shows up in your sense of smell. If foods you once loved no longer have the same aroma or subtle scents seem to disappear, this isn't just aging or seasonal allergies. Large population studies, including research involving thousands of older adults, have shown that difficulty identifying common smells is strongly linked to a higher risk of developing dementia within a few years. This happens because the brain's smell processing center is closely connected to memory hubs like the hippocampus. These regions are among the first affected by neurodegenerative changes, so smell loss can appear long before memory trouble gets noticed. Another early change involves sleep, but not just the occasional bad night. We're talking about persistent difficulty falling asleep, frequent nighttime awakenings, or waking up feeling unrefreshed no matter how long you were in bed. Deep sleep is when the brain's glymphatic system goes to work, clearing out waste proteins, including those associated with Alzheimer's disease. When sleep quality breaks down, this cleanup process becomes inefficient. Over time, toxins accumulate faster than the brain can remove them, accelerating damage. Many people blame stress or age, but chronic sleep disruption can be a signal that the brain's maintenance system is struggling. You might also notice subtle changes in your handwriting. Compare something you wrote years ago to what you write now. If your letters have become noticeably smaller, tighter, or more cramped, this pattern known in neurology as micrographia can indicate changes in motor control circuits deep within the brain. Areas like the basal ganglia help regulate smooth, automatic movements. When these networks weaken, movements lose their natural range and writing becomes constrained. It's one of the easiest motor changes to spot over time. Multitasking difficulties are another red flag. Tasks that once felt effortless, like cooking while listening to someone talk, now feel overwhelming. If interruptions completely derail your focus, this may reflect changes in executive function. The frontal regions of the brain manage planning, attention, and juggling information. Early neurodegeneration reduces connectivity in these areas, making it harder to manage more than one mental stream at a time. This isn't just distraction, it's a breakdown in how information is coordinated. Here's a quick checkpoint. If this video is already helping you see everyday changes differently, take a second to like the video and subscribe. It helps more people learn these warning signs earlier when action still matters. Another often missed sign shows up in the way you walk. Healthy walking includes a natural, symmetrical arm swing that happens automatically. If one arm barely moves or both arms seem stiff at your sides, that can point to changes in the motor cortex and basal ganglia. These automatic movement programs start to fade early in neurodegenerative conditions, long before more obvious gait problems appear. Loss of interest in hobbies or social activities is also significant. This isn't simply boredom or sadness. When motivation fades, it can be linked to changes in dopamine-driven reward pathways in the brain. These circuits help us feel anticipation and enjoyment. When they malfunction, activities that once felt meaningful no longer spark engagement. People often dismiss this as just slowing down, but neurologically, it can signal declining function in key motivational systems. Visual and spatial difficulties are another important clue. Misjudging distances, bumping into furniture, struggling with reading, or confusing colors aren't always eye problems. The brain's visual processing centers interpret what your eyes see and turn it into spatial understanding. Degeneration in these regions disrupts depth perception and spatial awareness, even when eyesight itself hasn't changed much. You may also notice difficulty following complex conversations, movies, or TV shows. Stories that once felt engaging now seem confusing, with characters and timelines hard to track. This reflects changes in the temporal lobes, which help process language, sound, and narrative structure. When working memory and language integration weaken, the brain struggles to hold multiple pieces of information together. It's not that content has become worse, it's that processing capacity has changed. Slower reaction time is another early signal. Whether driving, catching a falling object, or responding to sudden events, delays between seeing and reacting can become noticeable. This isn't about muscle strength, it's about how quickly the brain processes information and sends commands. Neurodegeneration affects myelin insulation and neurotransmitter efficiency, slowing communication across the brain. Significant slowing shouldn't be brushed off as normal aging. One of the most concerning signs involves subtle personality changes. Increased irritability, apathy, reduced empathy, or poor social judgment often show up early. These shifts occur because frontal brain regions regulate impulse control, emotional balance, and social behavior. As neurons are lost, the traits that define someone's personality can quietly change. These are neurological changes, not moral or character issues. Difficulty with familiar routines is another key indicator. Tasks you've done countless times, like cooking a regular meal or following a familiar route, start to require conscious effort. This happens when procedural memory systems in the basal ganglia and cerebellum weaken. The task can still be completed, but but it no longer runs on autopilot, which is the warning sign. Finally, misplacing items in illogical locations deserves attention. Finding keys in the fridge or glasses in a cabinet happens because the hippocampus, which links objects to places, is failing to form proper associations. Often, there's no memory of why the item was placed there at all, because the memory never fully formed. The critical takeaway is this: these signs often appear many years before dementia is diagnosed. By the time memory loss becomes obvious, extensive brain damage has already occurred. Early recognition matters because the brain retains its greatest capacity for resilience before widespread neuron loss. Supporting brain health involves proven factors: adequate nutrition, strong cardiovascular function for oxygen delivery, quality sleep, regular physical movement, and consistent mental engagement. Acting early gives the brain the best chance to maintain function. If any of these signs stood out to you, share your thoughts in the comments. And if this information helped you see brain health more clearly, like the video, subscribe, and follow BioOptimize Vision for more evidence-based insights designed to help you protect your mind for the long term.